Hi and welcome to the core program for February. You are going to need a mat today or even just a towel because most of the exercises we're going to do are on the ground. Okay, so we're going to start off on our mat or our towel, or even if it's just on the carpet at home in the all fours position, and do some cat camels. Okay, so let's do a cat camel. We're going to, with our lower back, we're going to extend it and then raise it up. Okay, so it's cat and camel. We don't want to push too far through the range at this stage. Well, for any time doing this particular exercise, we don't want to push too far through the range. It's a very fluid, very flowing movement. Just help warm up a lot of those muscles in your lower back. Also warming up your discs and getting them ready to exercise. Pushing fluid in and out of your discs. Okay, we're going to come onto our back now and do some window wipers. Just bring your knees up to approximately a 90-degree position there, and we're going to let our knees fall down to one side and then the other. You might be restricted by tightness or pain, and if you are, just take your knees down to where you feel comfortable with. And you'll feel that stretch right through your lower back and through your hips as well. Okay, now just bring your knees back to the centre. And whilst you're lying on our back, we're going to do some pelvic floor activation exercises. So to do that, picture a rod going through our pelvis here, and we're going to tilt our pelvis forward and then bring it back by engaging these muscles down here. So letting it relax and extending your back, and then drawing it up whilst drawing your belly button into your spine. And you'll feel your pelvis on that rod. It'll be twisting that way and twisting that way. Okay, so it's to activate your pelvic floor muscles. More. Get back to our feet. Okay, just slowly make your way back to your feet. Okay, next exercise, a warm-up exercise. Is more balance but also core activation. So it's a single leg knee up. Okay, so we're going to start off in our left leg and pushing our right leg back and then up into a knee up. Okay, you might want to hold on to something fixed, whether it's a chair or a wall. Okay, it is a difficult exercise. If it is too challenging for you at this stage, and you didn't have anything stationary, you wanted to progress, you can still do the movement. Just don't drop that leg back too far. Just a small push back and then up in front of you. Okay. For those who've got quite good lower body strength and balance, you should be able to push a foot or two back and then raise that knee up quite high. Very challenging exercise, so I don't expect everyone to be able to do this, but I do expect everyone to do it safely. And let's swap sides. I also expect everyone to have one side better than the other when doing these type of exercises. Okay. So we're going to do some Romanian deadlifts now. We're going to do straight legged also. Okay, so it's a hip hinge pivoting exercise. So to do that, we're going to stand up nice and straight, roll your shoulders back, so maintaining the curves in your back and pivoting over from our hips. Yes, your knees will bend a little bit. It's pretty hard to keep them completely straight, but it's a lower back exercise. Depending on your flexibility and your lower back strength, and also depending on how tight your hamstrings are, you should be able to start to push it down a little bit further. Okay, great. Okay, so similar to our single leg knee up that we were doing before, we're going to do the Romanian deadlift. What we're doing then, that's single leg. Okay, so once again, quite a challenging exercise. If you need to go and grab hold of something, go and do that now. I'll give you a few seconds for that. Otherwise, it's going to be straight leg, kicking back with our right leg, free in the air. That right hand, when you get that down, as far as you can down. As far as you can safely, obviously, but also, I mean, it is a challenging exercise, so I don't want you to push yourself too far at this stage. If you're holding on to something, that's great. You won't be able to go down too far either if that's a stationary object. Just bear in mind. Okay, let's swap sides. Even if you are doing this exercise holding onto a stationary object, or you are reducing the range to something that's more suited to you, you will notice, or it's quite possible that you will notice your lower body starting to shake. And as long as those shakes are controlled, as long as they're not going to affect you performing the movement correctly, that's completely normal. It's basically the message is coming from your brain along those neuromuscular pathways to your muscles, working in overtime, overdrive, because of the demand that's placed on both those two systems, the neurological system and the muscular system. Okay, so we're going to go back through and do the Romanian deadlifts again. So feet shoulder width apart, keeping that back neutral, straight, and pivoting over from your hips. A bit of a stretch to this exercise. If you've got tight hamstrings like the majority of people do, I know I do at the moment, you will feel a bit of a stretch in your hamstrings. Right, let's back to our single leg Romanian deadlifts. Start off on our right hand side this time, or I'm going to anyway. Feel free to start off on whatever side you prefer. So maintaining that neutral back or flat back, holding onto a stationary object if you need to. You'll see I shake a lot more on my right hand side than my left hand side as I struggle to find a flatter piece of ground. Okay, let's swap sides. So, left hand and our left hip, if that helps with your balance. Last one. Okay, great. Let's have a bit of a shake out, and in your own time, just come back down onto your mat. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of sit-up exercises, and then we're going to turn around to lying in prone position. So whilst we do the sit-ups, I want you to maintain that curve in your back. Therefore, you should always be able to put your hands in the small of your back there. Okay, so the exercise is, it's going to be right elbow up to meet your left knee. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can actually lift that knee up to meet your elbow halfway. Otherwise, just peel up from your trunk down. Okay, I'm going to roll over into prone position. Okay, so the exercise we're going to do now is similar to the Superman exercise, only this variant is a little bit safer and it preserves your lower back a little bit more than the traditional Superman exercise. Okay, so prone position, we're going to extend our limbs out, all four of them. Okay, so it's an alternating exercise. We're going to raise up our left arm at the same time as that right leg. And then right arm, left leg. Okay, back. So lying on our back. Okay, so maintaining that curve in your back. And once again, do knees to elbows. So lifting your knee up to meet your elbow if you can, if you're able to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to peel up from the top down. Go for 2 more each side. And then roll back around into prone position. Okay, once you're in position, extend your limbs out and straight into it. Left arm, right leg. Right arm, left leg. Okay, now whilst we're in this position, we're going to do some push-ups. Now, for those of you who can't do push-ups, don't freak out. I'm going to give you 3 variants and 3 options. So for those who can do traditional push-ups, we're going to do 10. The next level, or the next easiest level, okay, so from the back of your knees to the top of your shoulders, it's going to be one straight line. Is that one? Or should you need to, bring your knees up so you're in all fours position. Okay, so purely this one's going to be a hip hinge exercise. So pushing down, dropping down, and then pushing up, only moving from your hips, only pivoting from your hips. Okay, so that's 1, 2, or full push-ups if you can do them. Okay, so let's go for 10. I'm going to do full push-ups. You can choose whichever option that you would like. So just with me, push, lower, raise. Whichever option you do choose, just try to look out in front of you, maybe a metre or so. It'll help with straightening your back. Okay, last one. Okay, good work. Okay, so while we're in this position, we hop in bird dog position on all fours, maintaining that neutral spine. I'm going to do a quadruped. So to do that, we're going to raise our left leg whilst keeping your hips flat or parallel to the ground. Okay, kicking that leg up, then up to the front, trying to get your knee to your elbow. Pretty lucky, you're pretty flexible if you can get it the whole way there, but that's just where you want to aim towards anyway. So right leg up, bring that up towards your elbow, and back into position. Okay, we're going to do one more each side. We're going to slowly make our way to our feet. Okay. So, back on our feet for this exercise, mostly balanced for this one. So, we're going to start off feet shoulder width apart, dropping our one leg back to start off. Okay, when we do that, arms straight up into the air and over to the opposite side that we're dropping back. Okay, so bring that right leg up, dropping our left leg back. When we drop our left leg back, arms up and over to our right hand side. Okay, so We don't need to drop our leg back too far if we don't want to. But if you're feeling up for it, you can drop that leg back to a good range. Obviously, the further you drop it back, the more challenging. Okay, I'm going to hop back down on our mat. I'm going to go through those last few exercises again. However, we're just going to drop down the set. The set's going to be a lot smaller. So first of all, we're going to start off with the push-ups again. So you got your main push-up, second variant, or your third, where you're pivoting from your hips. So just go for 5 of your very best push-ups in whatever option or whatever variant you choose to do. Okay. So while we're in that position, in the bird dog position on all fours, keeping that neutral spine, we do the quadruped. So lifting our left knee up, keeping our hips flat or parallel to the ground. We'll raise our leg up and bring our knee up towards our elbow. Okay, one more, that will do us. And while we're in this position now, we're going to do some cat camels like we started off with at the start of the warm-up today. So pushing up and then extending your back. So once again, quite a fluid movement. Instead of being breaking it down into phases of the movement, you just want to keep it flowing. As soon as you get to the top, it's only a split second before you're coming back down. Okay, let's slowly make our way to our feet. I'm going to do the reverse lunge with a twist up over to the side. So feet shoulder width apart, just keeping those hips square. Okay, dropping back, right hand side, and twisting over to our left hand side. Okay, so dropping back, twisting over to our right hand side. One more. Okay, let's have a bit of a shakeout. And we're going to go through our stretch sequence for the day. Hope you've enjoyed the workout today. So mostly balance and core activation, but we still always do a stretch sequence at the end. So let's give our shoulders a bit of a roll. Forward to begin with, and then back. Okay. Right arm across our body, bring that in with our the left hand and forearm and locking that elbow out. And up and over to the other side. And again. Okay, so just going to do a hip flexor stretch now. So stepping out into a bit of a lunge position. Really need to square our hips off in this one. So we're just going to push forward using our hips whilst trying to get our left leg, our left heel to touch the ground. You should start to feel the stretch down through the front of your leg. If not, you can try squeezing your bum cheeks together. Okay, and that should increase that stretch here in the front. Okay, let's bring our left leg up, dropping our right leg back, squaring the hips off, okay, pushing your right hip forward, okay, while squeezing your butt cheeks together. And you should start to feel that stretch down through here, through your hip flexors. These muscles attach to your femur, your big bone here, and go right through your pelvis, through your hips, and attach to your lower back. So if they get tight, it can be a big cause of lower back issues. So it's a chronically tight or chronically shortened, as a swap size, muscle, especially if you do a lot of sitting, whether it's work or travel, just driving in a car. And when they become short, they can cause a few lower back issues. So very good exercise a very good stretch to repeatedly do. You could do it several times a day for better mobility through your hips. Okay. So a couple of hamstring stretches. We'll do the adductor hamstring stretches today. So stepping out, first of all we'll go down to our left side there. You should start to feel that stretch in this muscle here, your adductor on your right hand side. And up to the middle, let's transition over to our right hand side. And once again, you'll feel that stretch on your left hand side there. Okay, let's have a bit of a shakeout, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's workout.